Hello everybody, this is The Green Ninja, and so, as I'm sure most of you know, since my content is mostly TF2, so most of you are probably interested in this, there was a huge update to Team Fortress 2 recently. It introduced 4 new maps, one of them made by Valve. Snowplow finally made the cut. It introduced new contracts for which you get overpriced crates and new weapon skins for completing, which I think are super cool. And, also maybe the about million new weapon balance changes that I love, the new weapons. They're so much fun. One weapon that I'm sad that they nerfed is the black box, because I was really good at the black box. I still like it a lot. I still think it's viable. But it was beautiful the way it was. I must say, healing yourself for up to 100 on hit. The good old days. But yeah, Snowplow finally made it. I must say, too confusing for new players has defined my Snowplow experience thus far. It's not a very simple map. It's very well made. It just seems very cluttered for me. It's cool, I like all the clutter, but it's confusing to navigate for me. I like the other maps too. Suijin, Borneo, I don't know much about it though. And Powerhouse. Powerhouse is really cool. I didn't like it much when I first saw it, because I was like, oh, it's just stand-in. Yeah, stand-in is mediocre. No, it's really fun actually. It's really fast-paced. I'm glad that they changed how the overtime works in Powerhouse so that it's not 5CP, where overtime, that's 10-minute rounds, timer resets every time someone caps. No, it's just based on map time, how much time there is left on the round. It works so much better that way. I'm so glad that they did it that way. Weapon changes, woo-woo! Lock and load is changed. It is fixed. I honestly did not think the lock and load was that bad to play against. I found getting killed by rollers much more frustrating than getting killed by the lock and load. But apparently that was just me, so it's fixed to be fair. I personally think that the lock and load was fine the way it was. I think it was fine when it only had 2 shots. I think that was perfectly fair. Then they buffed it. That was like a nerf, but it was not a nerf at all, because he got an extra shot, and then they nerfed it so that it doesn't one-shot people, but it was still good. So people were using it. I just don't know what Valve was thinking with those 2 changes to the lock and load, but it works now. It's workable, it's still viable, and it's not too good. I like the Iron Bomber, though. I've always liked the Iron Bomber. I think it's a very cool weapon. Another major weapon change goes to the Gunslinger, which a lot of people are saying is, bad now. It's not bad. It's still really good. It still builds mini-sentries. The mini-sentries are still the exact same. They build faster now, if you hit it, which takes, 2 hits with the melee of your time. It's not that much. So, I don't see how people are thinking that this weapon is bad. It's not bad at all. The Wrangler nerf. Haha, I think that it's about time. The Sigafu save, it was fun, but it shouldn't be in the game. It was a little too good. Being able to tank a complete ubered heavy demo, pyro, soldier, scout, anything shouldn't happen. Never. The only way to counter an engineer that knew how to use the Sigafu save was to sap the sentry at the same time you pop Uber and have your spy sit on top of the sentry, constantly sapping it. That shouldn't be in the game. So I'm glad that they changed that. The engineer. I love engineer. by the way. Engineer is my second favorite class to play, and I love the new playstyle. I must say that aggressive level 2 and level 3 is beautiful. It has amazing benefits. The Jag is, wow, it's really good now. It's really bad if you're trying to turtle, but it's really good on not payload defense. So there are two primaries that work especially well with the Jag. There are the Frontier Justice, because you just, like, drop down a level 3, like, at the middle of the battlefield, use the Jag to hit it really fast so it speeds up the process of building to level 3. You can wrangle it, which I like to do, so it gets kills faster and it lives longer. And then you have, like, 12 crits on your Frontier Justice, and then you just go back to your dispenser and build another sentry, and clean up with the Frontier Justice along the way. It's cool. The other primary that works especially well with the Jag is the Rescue Ranger. The Rescue Ranger works beautifully with the Jag. First of all, because the Jag repairs worse, it doesn't affect the Rescue Ranger. So you still get the 75 health every time you shoot it. And second of all, you know how you build things faster with the Jag? Yeah, if you wrangle jump somewhere, pull your sentry to you with your Rescue Ranger, put it down, you can build it faster. So it works very well. You just build it fast and then leave, let it kill a few people, you know, Rescue Ranger it so it lives longer. Like, shoot it with it, not Rescue Ranger to you, that would be stupid. But yeah, it's a beautiful combination. Contracts. I would have done a few things differently with the contracts. Really only one thing. I would have also added contracts that were, say, 10 times as many points. It took 10 times as many points to complete them, and it didn't work towards your token. But they were free, and instead of giving you weapon skins, it would just give you a random unlock. I would play the heck out of my free-to-play account if that was in the game. I would love that. That would be a beautiful change for me. That would be amazing. All of the weapon changes completely point towards competitive matchmaking. So obviously. Like, they're balanced for competitive now. Like, almost all weapons are viable now. Lyric effect, I still don't understand how it can be viable. Minus 50% ammo on pickup or dispenser? That's horrible. But I'm so excited for competitive matchmaking. I have been, like, waiting for competitive matchmaking since it was announced, because I need it. I really want to get ready for competitive. I want to try competitive at some point. I don't know when I'll be able to. I don't know when I'll feel like I'm good enough. I felt like I was good enough, and then I saw some UGC Iron players, and I was just like, I'm not good enough. So I'm hoping, because TF2 Center is good, it just is too much of an inconvenience. There's very few lobbies open at any given time, so they fill up very fast, and it's just hard to do TF2 Center. At least it's Mumble integrated. I love the Mumble integration. But yeah, so competitive matchmaking will be a huge relief for me, because then I'll actually be able to play competitive, or not actual competitive, but, you know, pretty much competitive, and it'll be good and fun. I really enjoy playing TF2 Center, and whether I win or lose, it's always a blast, and I learn so much by doing it, so I can't wait to see what I'll learn through Valve Competitive Matchmaking. I kinda hope that you have to have 100 hours on the game to do competitive matchmaking. I feel like that would make it better, because without 100 hours, that's really not much. That's really not much of a requirement. That's just over 4 days of playing. I have reached the over 100 days straight mark of playing Team Fortress 2 recently. I have something like 2,450 hours. I'm pretty sure that 100 isn't that much to manage if you actually want to play the game competitively. So, yeah, the Gun Mettle update was amazing. I like everything about it. Oh yes, there was one thing that they did wrong, and it is now fixed. They changed everything related to damaging yourself to move better. So, Wrangler jumping took you about half as far. Sticky jumping didn't work right. Boston Basher didn't work right. Rocket jumping is one of my favorite pastimes, as you should know from, like, the 4 videos I have completely dedicated to rocket jumping. They removed wall pogo, which is the act of shooting rockets at the wall slightly below you to get infinite height. They removed it, so you couldn't do that anymore, which broke about 80% of jump maps. Oh no, well, that didn't break 80%, that only broke about 60%. The other thing that broke 60% of the ones that were left was that they removed speed shotting, which is the act of shooting a rocket so that it explodes the frame you hit the ground, so that you fly forward for no apparent reason. It makes no sense why it happens. It made sense that they would try to patch it, but it broke everything. It removed the combination of those two things being removed from rocket jumping lowered the skill ceiling on rocket jumping so much that basically the only hard thing you could do were quint sinks, which is where you shoot 5 rockets so that they all explode at the same time in the same place. That was the skill ceiling, and that wasn't right. They couldn't just break 80% of jump maps. They knew that they had to fix it after, I'm sure, lots of people complained. But yeah, so this was the gunmetal update, and this has been the Green Ninja, and goodbye.